Hey, John Lee here. So, what is the update with the IRS and your 2020 taxes? The answer is nobody knows because we're waiting on implementation of policy from Congress. This is John Lee. If you like these videos, be sure and hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. So, there have been some changes that could impact your 2020 return. It's such a cluster mess of trying to figure out if people are supposed to wait to file or file early to get their information updated. So you could have had a rebate credit for the first or second stimulus on your 2020 taxes if, in fact, you did not get that or receive that by paper check, debit card, whatever. It was a big mess of how it was rolled out to people that had changes in banking information, maybe might have relocated or moved or had other circumstances. There was a short, brief window of period of time that you could get on and update your information back in December. It was a very small window. I think it was 3 weeks to a month. I really think that somebody from the IRS, a spokesperson or somebody needs to come out and help understand these questions because, if you look at it, what is the IRS? The Internal Revenue Service. So if I need information internally about my money and you're the service that I use for my money internally, but you're telling people not to call, you don't have anybody give anybody any information. It's a cluster mess. So part of if you made more money in 2019, you're allowed to use that tax return for the stimulus. If your 2020 return you made more money, which a lot of people did, and on the flip side too, making a lot of more money, a lot of people are wondering, well, how did you make a lot more money? And the answer to that is either through investments, or they pulled their 401k, or they got unemployment, and then the unemployment had the additional benefits, which people didn't, I don't think, understood that was taxable income, or that it would be calculated as part of their earned income when it comes to the child tax credit. So there's a lot going on in there. The cutoffs will be a little different as far as the stimulus, but this video is basically about the IRS. Like, tons of people have had issues with the where's my refund not working. Some checks are rolled out. Nobody knows which tax returns they're using. I'm trying to get my stuff updated because, of course, that's what I was supposed to do to collect the rebate credit for the second stimulus that I didn't get. So my thought was to get that money as early as possible. As soon as I'm able to file, I did so. And that was January 30th. And it was accepted. Of course, they told me it wouldn't even be processed until February 12th. So it was accepted on the 12th or 13th and passed my 21 days. But I had a lot of crazy stuff on mine, like a lot of dependents. I had a name change, an address change. I bought a house. I moved and changed banking information. So my thought with a lot of people was, I'll just get this changed. So I called H&R Block. Really, as a middleman, I was hoping for, some service that would actually help me with my money internally so that I didn't have any problems or complications. So this new stimulus package really threw a wrench out there because now the IRS is trying to figure out how exactly this is going to be implemented. And so I called H&R Block back because yesterday I was told by the IRS that I would not to call due to high call volume. They were not taking calls. Yet these are the people who are handling our money. And so I just don't feel like that's a very professional. I know you may be bombarded, and that's fine. But when here I'm thinking and doing what I need to do for my family to get this, they're calling it a survival impact payment. I've got kids and we got bills to pay. And so, I do what I'm told, I file this, and then I'm put on hold. then I found out that it turns out that people that filed early actually got set to the side, and other people, because they were still working on amended 2019 returns, which I also think is a crock of crap. Because here, if I'm, being penalized for actually being punctual and on time and early, I wait. It's like 3 weeks for them to even accept my return, and now it's taken them several weeks to process it. And now on top of that, you have this $1.9 trillion rescue plan that should be signed Friday. So I'm kind of glad that they haven't processed my return completely. But at the same time, everybody's waiting on this money. Everybody really needs the money. There were some changes to the stimulus package that affected my tax return, and I have no idea if I'm going to have to file an amendment or if the IRS is just going to refigure it on the back end, which is really crappy, because to me, that's the whole point of actually using an internal revenue service. So it's like the accountability on big businesses is out the window, and it becomes an entity so powerful that it has no resolve. It has no actual person answering the phone. It has all these glitches in the system, and to me, there's everyday people being penalized because of things like the tax credits that are now in limbo because nobody knows if it's going to be amended. So I called H&R Block yesterday. I'm like, hey, what's going on? The stimulus is getting ready to get it was passed today. Should be signed today, tomorrow, or Friday. And H&R Block told me they're not sure, but that 2019, a bunch of people had to file amendments. And being someone that filed an amendment in 2019, I never did see my return from 2019, my amended 2019 return. So it's one thing if you got to get the 2019 amended returns taken care of first, but I mean, what is going on with the IRS? I mean, what is the big deal with not taking calls and putting people off, and your stuff not working on where's my refund? The updates aren't working. You have to tell people something. The people need an update. And so I think there needs to be some accountability, but where I'm at, they dropped the tax for unemployment up to $10,200 for 2020, which would end up returning about $2,000 in taxes to me for that credit. I was unaware that the 401k would kick me over the threshold for the earned income credit for our daughter, which is $41,000. So that's something that you guys really need to look at. But H&R Block doesn't really have any answers for me, and I paid $350 for them to do my taxes. The IRS doesn't have any information for me, and so everybody is just like, just wait. Don't call 1-800-829-1040. Don't call them. There's no chat. Everybody's talking about all these transcripts and all this other stuff that you can do, and I'm just like hoping that this money comes through by the first, so I can pay my mortgage. Unfortunately, I am and my family are dependent on this, and we look forward to it. And so you have a combination of where's my tax return with now where's my stimulus, and how is my tax return impacted by the new $1.9 trillion stimulus. And it's really become a mess because they're talking about they don't know if it's not processed. If your tax return is not processed in time, at the time that the new stimulus package is signed into law, they may revert back to using your 2019 returns, where your banking information and everything could possibly not even be relevant or current, and could potentially end up creating a long domino effect of problems, just like the second one did. So I hope they get their acts together, or just hold off and they actually get this figured out before they actually roll this back out or give me my return, and end up having millions and millions of Americans actually having to file an amendment and end up waiting till the following tax season of 2021. I'm John Lee. If you like this video, I hope that helps some people figure out some stuff, or at least give you some ideas about where I'm at on my tax return. You might be in a similar situation. Drop some comments below. Like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. I'm off to the next one.